Hey everybody, welcome back. Time for a little more mini painting. Today I'm going to be working on some more clothes. Got a lot of minis. So here we have Mr. Academic Nerd, classical nerd pose with poor posture. This guy has glasses. I gave him blue jeans and I'm going to give him a nice white shirt. So hopefully not going to get a lot of mess on any of the areas that I've already done. Now this is probably going to be, not even probably, I can most assuredly say that this is going to be multiple coats of white paint to do his shirt because I primed in gray. And when you prime in gray, it means the lighter colors are going to need more coats. But no fear, friends. That's what painting's for. You just take your time and do what you got to do. This, I don't know if I officially gave this guy a name, but I think I might call him Bill, as in Bill Gates. Or maybe he would just be known as Gates. I don't know, hard to say. He's got a little collar on his shirt. I want to make sure I get that. And this is, again, this is one of the metal modern minis from Reaper. I think part of the Chronoscope line. So I'm just going to go around and paint in as many of these features as I can. I don't want to go too heavy. I see I kind of blobbed some paint there. And I will have to go back over and touch up his belt. No worries there, just do what I gotta do. It's hard to get around his sleeves without getting onto his flesh. I was hoping I wouldn't have to go back around onto his flesh, but there's a good chance that I will. Just for little touch-ups here and there. Now he's carrying a stack of books under his arm. So it'll be interesting to paint those. Missed a spot next to his collar there. Okay, actually not bad. These metal minis really take the paint well, and the details hold up pretty well. It's amazing how, even just with that one coat, how this guy is starting to come together. Just trying to edge that sleeve a little more. Okay, mister. I'm going to set you down to chill over there. Oops.
You can't be without painting.
Oh, hey. Thanks, Dave. Coke Zero, the choice of champions. This Coke Zero break brought to you by my patrons on Patreon. You too can join our thriving, growing community of friendly and helpful gamers, painters, crafters, and general nerd enthusiasts. Huzzah. Okay. So I was taking a look at how some of these other colors dried up, and I wanted to show you this. So this was like an investigator lady. I gave her like brown tights, and she's got like a beige jacket on. And I'm pretty happy with those first coats right there. I'm going to come back around on second coats with some of these guys, but as you could see, this is from the Viral Outbreak game, and this looks pretty good so far, painted up. I'm going to put her in that category of people who are almost finished. All right, now, I got a message from one of my beloved patrons about how not all medical personnel wear white lab coats. So I painted this blue scrubs with the intent of doing the white lab coat. I'm going to stick with my silly plan, even if it's not authentic, I guess you would say. But I'm going to see what that turns out to be. So a lot of real estate on this here white lab coat. Definitely going to have to do like a 2-coat operation here, and then go back and probably do a wash to reclaim some of the features that are inevitably going to be covered up by the paint. But so far, so good. And I haven't really decided on hair color for this lady yet. I would like to maybe make her gray-haired, because I feel like all of her years in medical school and as a working person would make her closer to the 40s, my age group. Gonna get those details on her sleeve, hopefully without infringing on the tablet she's carrying. Maybe I'll do that side first. That looks like it could be a little easier. So, life in the quarantine is pretty interesting. I've found that I'm just as busy as I would be normally. Maybe, dare I say, even busier, which is kind of an odd thing to think of. Odd but true. Okay, I'm just working the paint up the edge of her lab coat jacket thing. Getting coverage all the way around. And I'm trying to paint out any obvious strokes on this first pass, because I will have to go back over this for a second pass for sure. And then this side needs some white paint there too. How's that looking for you guys? Pretty clean, Dave? All right. White lab coat lady. You will sit down here in the department of people who have to dry. Okay. This was the technician holding the dog, the blue scrubs and the beige coat. I think I'm going to do white on her face mask just to make it look a little different on her face mask. Haven't decided what I'm going to paint the dog yet. Probably brown, because that just seems right. I think I'm going to do white on her head too. On her, I don't know what you call that, her scrub hat. I'm sure that's not the technical term for it. Doctors? Doctor helmet? No. That's dumb, Bill. Why would they call it a doctor helmet? Don't be an idiot. I just feel like the white will kind of break up the beige that I covered her in for her upper body jacket. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. We'll see when it dries. Dee, having fun painting minis in 4K. Okie dokie. Another science person needs a white jacket. Why? Because movies. Because movies and TV shows shaped my life. When I was a little kid, I thought I would grow up to be a CIA agent. Yes, that's right. I wanted to be a spy. And for a long time, probably longer than most little kid dreams, I truly believed that that might be possible. I thought, well, if I could learn how to speak 7 or 8 foreign languages, and I was really smart and good in school, maybe the CIA would want me. And they'd be like, Bill, you're the perfect candidate for our new program. We're calling it the James Bond experiment. But then I realized that that wouldn't work because you have to be smarter. Because you have to be smart to be in the CIA. All right, lab coat lady, it's coming along. A lot of difficult spots to get here, particularly because the way this sculpt is set up, her arms are crossing over to like push the cart, you know, that she has. So I'm trying to get all these little spots in there, and it is really challenging. Really quite challenging. Also, I haven't figured out what color to make her gloves. Should I make them blue like the scrubs, or should oh! That was scary. Should I make them blue like the scrubs, or should I give them like a gray? Like a medical technician gray color? Hard to say. Just trying to do the edging now around the jacket. Man, the sculpt is tight, man. It's hard to get in there. Hard to get in there for sure. Yeah, so see, this is a good example of where I think shading will come into place later, because by painting her white, her jacket white, and I'm gonna have to do another coat for coverage, I'm losing a lot of the cool little details built into the Mini. So I'm hoping that, and you can kind of see this from the side view, I'm hoping that after I do those 2 coats, I'll do a little wash to reclaim some of those details in the shadows. But I've got to, at the very least, make sure that my first coat coverage actually handles all the gray. And I'm trying to follow some advice that I've been given by people who are much better at painting than me, like DoD Spec Ops. I'm not trying to glob this on. I'm just trying to get coverage, but not like globs and globs, you know. All right, so we're gonna let her dry. Okay. All right. So now we have a couple other people who need a little bit of white. So this guy is, I like this sculpt a lot. He's basically another bookworm. I gave him blue jeans, and it looks like he's carrying like a book and maybe a bag of dice, like he's on his way to a convention. So I'm going to give him, so his shirt's kind of interesting. It's like a striped shirt. I'm going to make it white, but then I might go back in the details if I can and stripe out those details with like red or something. But I'm going to say the base of his shirt is going to be white. And I want to be real careful that I am not destroying any of the fine details. I also want to avoid overlapping on his skin because I don't want to have to do a million touch-ups. But if I do, I do. So I'm painting up and down because that's actually the orientation of the stripes on his shirt. It's probably too hard to see even in magnificent 4K. But just to narrate kind of what I'm doing, that is the approach I'm taking on the front of his shirt. Just a nice layer of coverage, but not drowning out the sculpt. Do, 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 do. What's your name? Who's your daddy? Is he rich? Is he rich like me? Get his collar here. We're talking about some real precision, man. This has to be precise. So my analysis over this process is that I have found that painting modern minis is harder. I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's because of the clothing versus like armor on fantasy minis. I don't know, man, but I find myself much more challenged by this process. He has cuffed sleeves, so I gotta hit those cuffs, get those edges. Man, this is a challenge, bro. This is a challenge. Get those cuffs, but not, try not at least to hit the book that he's carrying or his flesh. That would be a travesty. There's just a tiny little bit of a spot here that's really hard to get to between the back of the book and the edge of his pants. If I spill a little on the book, that's okay, because I haven't even started on that. Okay, I'm going to get the other cuffed sleeve here. Make sure that he's covered there. And then just looking from down low, gonna do kind of a quick peek around, make sure I got everything that I needed to get. The edging around his collar is also requires a lot of detail there. I think we're good on my guy. If the other guy was Bill Gates, this would be like, you know, Steve Jobs maybe, I don't know. Okay, he's gonna go dry in that pile of people. All right, next order of business is another female. So she has, actually, you know what? No, I was gonna do a different color shirt for her. Okay, so now we have, no, not him. Not him. Spy Lady's gonna go dark. Just checking to see if there's anybody else that needs that white shirt. Okay, so our jock with the football is wearing like a Letterman's jacket. So I think this speaks to a white Letterman's jacket, and then I do like accents around it maybe, because that would pop. Or do I do like a sky blue? I don't know, but he's already wearing blue jeans. I'm gonna try white. Try white. And the thing about the white base too is that I can always, if I don't like it, I could paint over it and I can get a brighter color if I base it in, you know, if I at least put one coat of this white on. So if I'm like, I don't really like that white, I want to go with gold or something, you know, then I could do that, and that gold will pop a little bit more on account of it having an undercoat of white. So I'm just going to hit him with that white. And I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I'm thinking maybe I'll do this white and then hit him with like a gold for the either like a gold coat for the main color, or I'll do like something vibrant like a white with red accents. Maybe that's it. Maybe I go white with red, then he's like red, white, and blue, you know, all-American quarterback dude. Okay, his collar also comes right up to the neckline. Very, very little room for error there. trying to punch in a little bit of this white into like his pits and the wrinkles on his jacket, just so I don't have that gray primer poking through. And then trying to go in the direction of those wrinkles to make sure I got that covered. A little tiny bit more paint, a little tiny bit more. Oh, see, I found a spot where I missed around the back side of his collar. Yeah, a lot of cool texture on this jacket. All right, Mr. Letterman. Mr. Letterman, I leave you to dry over with these people. Okay, now we have these like detective dudes, remember? And I think I'm gonna give him a white shirt and then make his jacket like a detective tan, maybe. This guy I gave a blue. Did I blue his jacket? I did. A blue-gray. Okay, so I'm going to give this dude a white shirt as well. This is tight though, man. This is super tight. And he's got a tie on. So I got to get his shirt collar and his tie. But then I'm going to have to go back and color that tie in something other than white. Otherwise it would look two-dimensional and very flat and boring. Well, that's some sloppy shit right there, Carafa. Nothing I could do about that except let the paint dry and come back to it. Okay, this was, yeah, I don't know. I'll leave her go for a minute. Nope, leave him go for a minute, leave them. Okay, so this was girl wearing a sweater. So she's got a sky blue skirt on, and then she's got like a sweater vest. That's what it was. So I'm going to give her a white like long sleeve undershirt. And then I'll do the vest once I've got 2 coats of this on. And since I know I'm going to have to do the vest anyway, I'm not super worried about how perfect my painting is with the white shirt. But I'm going to try to go up to just the vest line. Yes, so white sleeves poking out of the vest. Now here's going to be the tricky part. I have to paint around the book that she's carrying, hopefully. Man, this is a level 7 challenge right here. But it's not the end of the world if I blow it, because I'm going to have to paint the book too. Okay, and I got a little of the white in her hair, which is, oh well. All right, let her dry. Come back to her for a little extra white coat. Okay, any of these guys down here? Yes, so this guy has a brown pants. He's wearing like a white shirt, the sleeves rolled up, and he's got a cup of coffee, and yeah. So I'm gonna get him some color. Sometimes I think about, what if I put all this time into these minis and then I don't use them? And I'm sure many of you have that same feeling where you're like, oh, I have all these minis that I've painted, and you know, some of them I've never used. So I was thinking about this very thing, and have been thinking about it for a while. And then I thought, well, you know what? If you're in that situation, what you do is you actually look at your minis before you decide an adventure. And I think this principle, and I don't mean that every adventure should be planned with minis, but I'm saying if you find yourself in that situation where you got a bunch of minis that you've painted and you haven't used them, then what you do is you say to yourself, I'm going to use these minis. And you think of how to use the minis. It's like reverse engineering. You say, I'm going to use these minis in this adventure. And you pick 6 minis at random that you haven't used. Right? And you start thinking of personae for them. You think to yourself, how can I use this mini? Right? And you see this guy and you say, all right, this guy is a civilian holding a tablet, drinking his morning coffee. So maybe you have him be just a bystander in a scene. You know, maybe there's a meeting in a coffee shop or at a library. Or you can make him like a major player. Maybe he's the owner of an antique bookstore. And the party has to like interact with him and, you know, try to convince him to sell them some very rare mythos-based book. Oh, Bill. Sloppiness means more work. But my guy has a lot of little nooks and crannies that I got to deal with here. All right, up by the top of the shirt and the collar, not wanting to get any white on his face. Okay, dude. You're good. You're looking pretty good. A little more color here and there. I'm looking around here. Okay, got another scholarly type. I'm going to do the white lab coat vibe here. I could always change it later, paint over it, but just looking to get some more base colors on some of these folks. If you like listening to music, especially like for your fantasy games, there are a pair of brothers on YouTube who make superb gaming music. Now you can't like stream using their music because that would be illegal, but if you're just having like a home game or an online game with friends and you want some ambiance, they have a great library of stuff. And their names are Brandon and Derek Feichter. F-I-E-C-H-T-E-R. Brandon and Derek Feichter. They have a bunch of those like 1 hour compilation things, like 1 hour Celtic music, 1 hour Dwarven battle music, 1 hour Mysterious Forest music, and it's all good. I love to sit and listen to it when I'm writing ideas or when we're playing sometimes. Very, very soothing, and also a lot of options, so if you're looking for more intense, epic, cinematic stuff, they have that too. All right, so getting down into the nitty-gritty details on this sculpt. And realized here in looking at the sculpt that I kind of effed up, because the lab coat's outside. What I should have done is that undershirt. That lower layer, because now I'm going to have to redo things. So, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to finish this white layer, which will definitely need an overcoat anyway, a second coat. But I'm going to finish that white layer just so I could see, because it actually helps me with edging out. And then I'm going to switch to a different color to give this sciencey person okay. Cool. Good. This dude's looking all right. For some weird reason, I didn't get all of his pants. So his crotch is gray, and then he has brown pants, like chaps or something. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't know why I failed in that regard. All right, let's have a little fun. Let's give him, we haven't used red yet. I did use my shaker in case you're gonna panic. I'm like, Bill, don't. You didn't shake it up yet. So I'm gonna blob some red there and see what this red looks like. Probably gonna look like blood. And indeed it does. It looks like he's been stabbed. I don't know. I like that. That's very red. It's actually not the darkest red that I had. It's called Dragon Red, but I thought it would be a cool red. Okay, so I have been dying to paint this witchy crazy lady. She deserves some red, doesn't she? Look at that. So let's take a look. She's got like tights on. She's got these weird like wing things. I'm gonna give her red tights. This is one of the metal sculpts. A lot of room for details with this one, because she's got like all these cool little accessories and style things happening on her. This red is going on pretty slick. Pretty damn slick. So I'm going to avoid painting her hair red because I thought we'd go with like a black for her hair, you know, a gothy kind of black vibe. But I like these red tights so far. Looking good. Voodoo lady. Man, this sculpt is crazy hard to paint. She's like in this twisted dance move kind of vibe, so it's really hard to kind of get into all the details and the nooks and crannies here. Get up in there. Okay. It's a good thing that this is a primed mini, I'll tell you. Okay, now, then she's got like a shirt and this weird jacket with the fringe. Oy vey. I don't want to just do black. That'll be kind of boring. So I'm thinking maybe like a green for the shirt. I don't know. Should I make her hat red too? I'm gonna think about that because I don't really have an answer. So she can just sit there and dry for a little bit. Okay, then I also have this spy lady who I've been kind of putting off. I think she deserves a red jacket, don't you? Yes. Red jacket it is. Red leather jacket. And this is going to look amazing or stupid. One of the two. I should have painted her tights first. I realize that now. So I will do that before putting on the second coat. She's got all the cool vibes on this sculpt though. I could just see this being like a total spy lady. I guess that's the other thing too, is that I want to make sure everything just doesn't look the same, you know. That's why I'm kind of looking at different colors here. A lot of what I've done so far is the same because I've done it kind of by types, like with, you know, the military guys and then the medical people. But now I'm really getting into more of the civilian options, which I kind of like. Yes, this is cool. I like this. And then maybe, you know, her purse is, she's holding her purse in her back. So maybe that's got like her gun and her spy equipment and whatever else. So I will paint that last probably. She's got a cool high collar too on the back of this jacket. So once I get the main coverage here done, I will go back over and detail that collar on my first pass here. Okay. She's giving me like a Charlize Theron Atomic Blonde vibe. Don't know if you ever saw that movie. Krafi, you ever see that movie? Did I watch that with you? Atomic Blonde? It's a cool spy movie. If you haven't seen it, I recommend it. It's also set in the 80s, like right before the Berlin Wall came a-tumbling down. So it's got those cool 80s vibes. Okay, need a little more detailing around that high collar of her jacket. It's hard to make sure that you got the right kind of light. Sometimes, as much as you're surrounded by thousands of watts of light, it's just not the right kind of light. Or you're working in an area where there's shadows and it's hard to see if you're hitting what you need to see. So right now I'm going under her collar. Under. So her hair comes right up to the collar. So I can't even really get this. I'm going to have to just edge it. Dude, I am loving this red on my spy woman. This is phenomenal. She is a formidable mini to paint, that's for sure. And that gray primer on this metal is soaking up the paint. Soaking it up, y'all. Now I'm edging along the bottom just to make sure I got all these nicely picked out so that when I go to do her tights, they'll be good to go before I go over layer number 2. Oh, see, I missed a spot. It's good to rotate. I missed a spot with the primer under the jacket. So now I'm really going to have to wait a minute because basically this part underneath the jacket is effectively going to be like a primer. Okay, well, I dig it. I mean, wow, that color just pops, man. That color just pops. I'm gonna do her tights after that color dries. There's just ever so slightly little bit of color there. And then I think I'm gonna do her boots in that same red while I got it out. I'm gonna have to do 2 coats on everything anyway, so I'm gonna nail those boots now while I have her on the stand. Red leather boots and red leather jacket, spy lady gonna kill someone. See, I think of ideas for how and where I could use this. Maybe she's not an assassin. Maybe she's like an informant, you know? She's like a contact who's got the information. She's willing to trade it for a price. Who decides the price? I don't know. Guess your players will have to find out in the game, won't they? I'm gonna go around and get the edges on the red while I'm doing this, and then I'll have to give her tights. Maybe I'll do black for the tights. She's perfect. Purdy. Okay. Okay. Oh, this guy. Did he work out well with a red shirt? Not really. He looks dumb. Dumb. That looks dumb. Fail, Bill. Fail, fail, fail squad. All right, just looking to see if there's any other people for whom a little red would help. Nope, those are guys I haven't even started yet. Nope, 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 they need brown. Double checking, just making sure. Do I need, oh, Johnny Sports Guy. Let's see. Let's see what he looks like now, guys. All right, the white is good. I suppose I could edge. You know what, he's gonna need another coat of white, so forget that. Gonna have to go to the coat of white. The coat de white. All right. Okay. Okay. So while all those are drying, I'm going to switch gears, wash out my brush, because you need to do that. Take care of your brushes, and they'll take care of you, people. Okay, let's go back and do a little white. So my purest of whites needs to be shook. That's my matte white. It's got to get shook, Dave.
You don't want to take a break right now and stop the file?
Nope. This will be quick, because I'm just going to touch up all the whites that I did. Shook. All right, this is a white now. This is, I probably won't need that much. I'm just gonna go over and second coat those friends who we started with some white. So this guy is going to need some coverage. I'm particularly focused on the high parts, the most exposed parts of his clothing. Not super worried about the shadows, but just want to make sure that his white coat is thorough. So I'm going to work my way around from top to bottom. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Well, I got to run to keep from hiding, and I'm drowned. Screwed this one up too. I should have painted under his white coat because there's gray primer, which is dumb looking. So I'm going to edge all that. Try to blend that in. Back of his coat needs that white. This stuff dries pretty fast, actually. At least on this, these cheap Viral Outbreak minis, I was surprised. I really didn't think that they would take the paint as well as they have. I still think the metal minis are better, but this isn't bad. Not bad, y'all. Okay, you're good. Oh, I did it again, Dave. Damn it. Keep dropping these minis. All right, she definitely needs a second coat. It is embarrassing how much gray primer is poking through on that first coat. But I feel like these second coats go fast because you can see real, a little bit easier at least, just how much paint you need or don't need on these second coverage coats. Before we ride in, and I got one more $7, and I'm not gonna let them catch me, no, not gonna let them catch the midnight rider. Doodle-doo-doo-doo-doo. I don't own the clothes I'm wearing, and the road I'll soon be sharing. But I got one more silver dollar, and I'm not gonna let them catch me, no, not gonna let them catch the midnight rider. Doodle-doo-doo-doo-doo. Okay, see? So much better already. Oh, look at that. I caught one. I missed a collar spot. That's another thing that second coat helps you with. Get on there, paint. There we go, lady. Now you're fixed. Okay, how's this one? So I like her tan lab coat. I want to do that white face mask again. That really helps punch it up. Yes. Splendid. Wunderbar. Okay. He's good. This guy's shirt needs some hits here. It's kind of got a linen shirt vibe going. Missed a spot, found it. Get his collar. Good. Good. Liking that a little better. Okay. Couple more quick white touch-ups before we wrap it up. So this dude, I'm just going to hit the high points. Like just his collar. Around there. And there. And there, and good. Nurse lady, yes. Riding that train. Fuck. Well, I got a little bit on her scrubs. On her scrubs, Dave. That's aggravating. It is very aggravating. I'm just using tiny amounts of paint. Just tiny. Tiny, tiny, tiny little bits of paint. Gotta get that collar right though, that's annoying me. There we go. Okay, and this side, right around the back of her neck, and that shoulder side of the collar. And painting up, but trying not to get her face. Damn it. Please don't get on the scrubs. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, Doc, you're good, except for that part I got on your scrubs. Sorry about that. Bill Gates definitely needs a second coat of white because that metal soaks up the paint like nobody's business. So I'm going to hit him from the top down. Get his collars. and his rolled up short sleeves. You're a stud. You are a stud, Bill Gates. Okay, Bill, your shirt is white. White and right. This girl's arms are in need of a little touch up there. Remember, she was the one who is going to be wearing a sweater. Now, I haven't figured out what color to do the sweater in. I don't want to like stereotype her necessarily with a pink sweater, but it would look good, wouldn't it? Wouldn't a pink sweater look good with the sky blue? I don't know. I don't know how girls dress. I should ask my wife. Or ask the Vixens. They could tell me. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll Zoom the Vixens and ask them how to paint this girl. All right, college girl. You are done for now. I will set you over there. All right, and then we have Biff. I've decided to name him Biff, the All-American quarterback, and give him that second coat of the white to give his jacket the purity befitting an all-star conference champ football player. Right, good. And then I will have to figure out what kind of either highlights or line work to do on Biff to give him maybe like a school logo on his Letterman jacket, you know, or like a letter or a chevron, one of those things that you see on Letterman jackets. Okay, he's good. He's good. Now, detective dude with his shirt needs another little touch-up coat, and that ought to do it for his tiny little baby shirt. Really trying to get his collar without getting paint on his beautiful face. Okay. All right. That'll do it, everybody, for this episode, because I have to now let everything dry. Otherwise, I'm going to mess it up, which happens to me all the time. So I've learned my lesson the hard way. Let your paints dry, because when they dry, they will change their color and sometimes their tonality a little bit. And it's important for you, very important, to see how that color sets when it's dry. And then we'll revisit this and we'll hit some more colors on some of these other minis who are desperately in need of a little love. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And if you have any tips for me, by all means, share them in the comments below, because I am not a master painter. And I have 30, 40 minis on the docket for upcoming episodes. So stay tuned. Peace out. Love you. Bye.